I don't know why it's asking. Okay, we're live. So I'm just going to disconnect this one for now. I'm coming back and bring it in.
Okay.
So, hey everyone, I'm Dr. Angelica. I am here with the topic of mindset is crucial. And I'm here with Maggie Jurajda.
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 Perfect.
Maggie Jurajda. Thank you, Maggie, for being here with us. And, there's a really deep tension right now happening across the world. And I think this topic is really in need. And the reason that it's important that we talk about it is because my hope is leading through uncertainty times, right? I want to help people. I want to be able to lead them through uncertain times so that they find strategies, so that they find hope, so that they can respond to the circumstances that are happening right now. And your topic is important. Why do you feel mindset is crucial during these times?
Well, because I think mindset is everything in terms of the approach to any circumstances. It doesn't matter if it's just this time, any problems or any happiness or sadness. It's how we approach it and how we're going to see it. So having that sort of good mindset and positivity within and being able to work on your mindset will help you to not only go through, but also maybe gain from it rather than just worry, and it can affect you either badly or in a good way. So the choice is yours, basically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's true. So it's really important that that we provide people with ways of thinking, because the perspective is really huge. I think John Maxwell says something that I really want to point out. John Maxwell is a thought leader, and he says that perspective is the way that we view things and how we do things. So depending on that mindset that a person has is really going to be the action that they're going to have. So what would you say about that?
Well, that's exactly my point of view. Like, the mindset will decide whether you're gonna come out of it in a good way or in a bad way. You can think, you can be scared, you can focus on your fear, you can focus on panic, and I actually wrote a post recently about it, that people have lots of different terrible scenarios in their heads and imagining the worst possible things that can happen, and they start acting like it already becomes the truth. And the thing is, it's like it is becoming the truth because they start acting like it. And
Right.
it's actually quite fascinating how their imagination works to imagine the bad things. But if they would flip it around and they will focus on how good things can be and start imagining the scenarios that can actually, what good can come out of it, and how to utilize that time, how they can help others, how they can spread solidarity. It can actually help them to maybe their mind, their brain will start functioning in a way that they will start thinking of actions that they can take in order to get to that scenario rather than to the horrible scenario. And I believe then that will have a massive impact on the whole world, not only on that individual. So that's in terms of like how do you see it? How do you perceive that information, and what do you do to get there?
Exactly. Yeah, because they could be seeing hopelessness, right? Be feeling like there's nothing I can do, right? And in reality, if they take this opportunity of crisis, world crisis, I think that as individuals, we can become better persons, don't you think? And I think this is a time of recreating ourselves. And I think we're being forced to recreate ourselves in so many ways. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, and you can see it all over the news, to be honest. Like, some people are just like, think of themselves, and they go into the shops, they buying enormous amount of like products that they won't even need for the next 3 months, that they won't use it for 6 months. And there are people who are less fortunate, who cannot have such an access to those products, and they left over with nothing. And it's not being selfish. So it's up to the people how they respond. And you can just observe, like, some people are helping each other, some people are just being selfish and grabbing everything and thinking only about themselves. Some people only think about how does it affect them, rather than think of how can they help others. So there are not only coaches, like I'm actually a marketing coach rather than a mindset coach, but I think mindset goes with everything, with any kind of business. So and for me, this is like a daily thing. Like, watch motivational videos, think of actually how can I use my skills, like to know how to self-promote yourself in order to utilize the tools that everyone has for free in order to spread the positive message. How can you respond? And I think the fear is coming from not knowing how things can be. Fear is basically not knowing, in my opinion. So once you know how can you help others, once you do know what can you do, I think it will help others to have a better response to it and maybe start behaving like we are actually human to human and help each other rather than just beat each other.
Right? Yeah. And like right now, a lot of us are in lockdown, right? Where there's a quarantine and we're being told to stay home. And, there's not a lot of social connection or human connection or that touch. So I know that as a Latina, I'm a very touchy, huggy person. So it's hard to stay away from people. But what do you suggest? What are some of the recommendations that you would make for those people that are home right now so that they could use it to their advantage right now?
Well, again, like, we have all the tools. Pretty much, I don't know many people that don't have access. And that's what I also emphasize. Like, people who have internet access and some sort of mobile laptop or iPad, they do have the tools, like such as WhatsApp, Messenger, Skype, Zoom, or all sorts of other tools that they can go on a live video. They can have a chat. They can actually get closer to each other. And if they're sharing the space with someone else, why not spending that time with, like, I personally don't have kids, but like people with families, why don't have the conversations with their spouse, with their kids, start playing, start organizing time, maybe start thinking and planning ahead, like how would they do things differently? How would they prepare for if that will happen again? Climate change. Viruses do appear every few years. So it's like planning ahead and get closer to each other, use the tools that we have to get basically that human interaction. You're saying, like, yes, some people are cut off from the face-to-face interaction, but there is enormous opportunity with interacting online. And this doesn't need to be much difference apart from the touchy-feely and warm hugs. They can be done online, same as we are discussing now. We are on 2 different parts of the world and we couldn't be any closer.
Right? I mean, tell them where you're from, Maggie.
Well, I'm from Poland, but I actually live in Wales in UK.
Yes. So you see, even if people are apart, yet I think that we're coming closer. I've made beautiful connections with the people around the world. And I think that this is the time for community, building communities, strong communities, building strong relationships, like you said, especially with a family, because many times I would go to restaurants and I'd see families on their phones while they're together in a little reunion. And I think that we're being forced by the universe to come together and really create stronger relationships with people face to face when all this is over, don't you think? Or those that are home, we're starting at the core to create strong relationships and then building outward. What do you think?
Absolutely agree. Couldn't agree more. And yeah, you're totally right that you see, like, sometimes mothers with the prams pushing the prams, and they actually on their phone, even though the baby might be crying, which is absolutely shocking. We do get some of the. I guess it's also depending on the cultural thing. Some people do get closer, but at the same time, you can see that some people actually get far away from each other because they are from the fear of, don't touch me, don't come closer, don't talk to me, etc. But as you said, like, we do have tools to not only have the social interaction and have a proper conversation and get to know each other better and how we can help each other. but also build communities. And all those tools are on our fingertips. Building a community on Facebook group, for instance, which I can definitely help out with as well. It's free. It takes 5 minutes to do. And obviously, like, the community I build from my perspective might be different to someone else's, like a family with kids, or single mothers, or single people, or couples that are missing the social aspects of face-to-face. This is an enormous opportunity, I think, rather than a disadvantage, to be fair.
Right. Yeah. I think that, at the end of this crisis, I think we should become better people. I think, in the sense of identifying those talents and those skills that we have, and even looking at our businesses or the jobs that we were performing, and really looking at the whole picture and rewriting our world or our life and saying, do I want to continue doing this, or do I need to build something and become an entrepreneur? So when this happens, you're planning ahead, like you were talking about a few minutes. How do we plan ahead and really create a strong mindset and strong goals for ourselves as entrepreneurs,
Exactly, yes. Well, obviously there is uncertainty about how long is it gonna be that we are in a lockdown, either self-isolation or forced to be isolated. How long is it gonna last? Is it gonna be 3 weeks? Is it gonna be 8 weeks? It probably is gonna be for several weeks. So and obviously there are people who have concerns about being paid or being able to pay the bills. I understand that, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a millionaire, but I think I'm fortunate enough that I do know the tools, and yes, I can get better. And at the same time, I'm a student, so my resources have dropped a little bit, or opportunities in terms of providing my services to certain businesses due to circumstances. But there is other things that I can do, and it's rather than focusing on what I can't do anymore, it's focusing on what I can do with what I have. And as you mentioned, some people might use this time to possibly develop finally their own businesses, their own ventures, and becoming an entrepreneurs. But I think, like, especially in the current world where what counts is actually your skills and your results. So people can take courses. There's so many different open sources with free courses, with certifications. People can change career if they're unhappy in their current job. Not only they will have a mental break, which is, I think, invaluable, but also that's the time where they can focus on learning new skills, not only to be an entrepreneur, but also to possibly change career. Because obviously, I did learn that fact that even though everyone can be an entrepreneur, not everyone is made for, not everyone wants to, which is fair. And I think it's just focusing on what is it for you, like just spend the time to learn or get closer to each other, to learn the skills that can help you prosper better in a few weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's really important that people take this time to check inside within themselves and really think, okay, how can I lead other people? How can I help other people? Because I think in a time of crisis, some people can be more aggressive because of fear. They could really begin to lose it. They become more argumentative. Because they're under protecting themselves, right? So what would you suggest when somebody is feeling anxiety or anger is kind of popping up for them?
Well, actually, that's a very, very good example, because, like, even though I might not be an anxiety expert, however, I was actually dealing in last year where we didn't deal with the virus. Everyone else is dealing with their own stresses, or everyone has their own circumstances. And I went actually through an anxiety and beginning of depressions. And how did I deal with it? Apart from cutting myself off from the problem and changing my circumstances and focusing on what I could do, which was actually development of my business and going back to university. But apart from that, what I did focus on is to learn how to meditate, which I was always struggling with. It's taking time off, taking the time to learn about different techniques on how to relax, how to breathe. Simple thing as how to breathe and maybe think positive. I was watching enormous amount of motivational videos, speeches, and things like that, as well as I started reading more books about how to deal with such a like mental illnesses or issues that I was coming across myself, and learn how to deal with them on my own, because in the end of the day, the work has to be done inside of you. No one can do it for you, whether it is a virus or any other type of crisis.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah. When something's inside you, like you're the only one that can really get to the root of it, right? And hold of it. So I know that one of the things that you do is you're considered a marketing rebel. You know,
Yeah.
you help people start online businesses and self-promote themselves. And I know that in the time like this, like what's like one tip they can do to begin, because I know they're probably frustrated and feeling like nobody's going to buy my stuff, I can't sell anything, what am I going to do during this time as an entrepreneur? But what guidance can you give them or tip for so that they can start doing like right now?
Well, every expert has been once a beginner, and I was a beginner 3 years ago, and I knew absolutely nothing about online business. I started in business 6 years ago, and I didn't understand a simple jargon, and I really didn't know anything about it. So obviously, I started to learn and combine, and I did many mistakes. So what I do offer right now is basically I have a group where I've written 8 different modules with there is either from between 1 and 6 different lessons, providing support in the group, providing modules that are teaching people on how to start a business, what tools to use, how to use social media, various social media, because obviously it's like how to choose it. If they don't have a product, if they don't have a business or service that they can promote, how to find one and gain commission from it. So how to resell someone else's product or services in order to earn money from it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, focusing on ethics. So how to be ethical rather than salesy. So how to focus on helping people with what their passion might be about, or maybe how to turn their passion into profit, as they say. So some people are passionate painters, so like artists. Maybe they're doing some crafts, maybe they're doing some painting, which is very rewarding. I'm painting myself as well, but I know some people, some coaches that help people to not only generate income, but also it helps with their mental health by creating something crafty. So there's always a way for either turning your own passion into profit, or finding someone else's product that you can resell, as long as you are passionate about talking about it and willing to learn more about it. So all that group is basically producing I have a lot of different modules that they can learn from for free. I provide support. I'm jumping on a calls. There are also options like paid options, like minimal investments in trainings that can help them and bring them up to speed, and they can start reselling someone else's products for their own benefit. And once they're ready with their own product, they can use the same skills to promote themselves.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful, because right now people need ideas on how to reinvent themselves or how to begin to make money, right? Because it is very stressful. A lot of people are losing their jobs. They're quarantined. I know that here we're told to stay inside, especially in the Dallas. I live in Texas, so in the Dallas area, everybody's on lockdown right now, or starting this evening. Let's put it that way. So people need to work on their mindset, and I like the fact that you talked about the meditation. That's really important, that people can really go within to find maybe those passions, those interests that they might have, so that they can rebuild themselves. So how can people reach out to you? Will you send me a link, or you could even comment below and send them a link too, and then that way?
My name is, I believe, exposed on the video. It's literally finding me on the social media, and I'm on pretty much any of them. So definitely Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whichever way. And I'm very happy to provide the link to my group as well as to my Facebook profile. Simply sending me a message and saying hello. And there is no consequences. There is no plan behind it. Let's just have a simple conversation. Sometimes if I'll be able to just motivate someone or give someone an idea, if it's not my area of expertise, maybe I know someone who does. It's all about like networking, whether in real life or online. We can all connect, and if I don't know someone, someone might know someone, as they say, and we can always direct to someone who might help them out. So we only, as they say, what was it? I think it was Richard Branson who said that we are only 5 or 6 connections away from each other in the world. So if I don't know how to help you, I might know someone who does. So it's as simple as that. We are a message away, no matter where we are in the world.
I love that. I love that, because we are 5 people away sometimes to be able to help others. And you know what? Like, my mission is to really help people right now in the times of uncertainty. And I'm reaching out to a lot of people that are mindset experts to be able to communicate with you their strategies, their thoughts on how to manage this world crisis. And Maggie is here helping you and supporting you. If you're just coming on, then we're going to suggest that you go back and you watch the replay and then type #replay. What I'm going to ask is for you to comment, like, why is mindset crucial in your perspective? Is it for control? Like, be very specific, maybe 1 or 2 words: control, to be happy, to find joy. Why do you think, as a person who's watching this, why do you think mindset is crucial? And then we will respond to you as well if you have any comments. And we're going to ask that you share, that you like, that you comment below, because I know that you will reach, maybe if not the 2nd person that you shared it to, but the 5th person, like Maggie says, that you shared it to, might need this type of work, might need this message that we're sharing today. And what I'm intending and what we're intending in doing is really reaching out and helping people with support, bringing hope, bringing one strategy that they can implement or say, oh, I got this, right? So, Maggie, any last words before we leave?
I think I can only say everyone has if you think there is nothing you can help others with, I think everyone has a story inside of them, and that everyone has some sort of experiences from life, and someone else is just going through it. So you might be able to help someone just by sharing your experience. So you don't need to have a massive skill set. All you need to share is your life experiences, which might help or motivate others how to go through their own situation.
Exactly. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Margie. And I want to thank everybody. Go ahead and go back and watch the replay. If you're just coming on live right now, put #replay. You can also make a comment on why do you think mindset is crucial. 1 or 2 words: to find happiness, to find control. And I'm going to be interviewing other experts just like Maggie about mindset. So today at 7 p.m. Central, I'll be back. And then at 8:30, I will be back with a 15-year-old who's very successful in entrepreneurship, and he's helping teams. So I hope you join me today while I'm interviewing these amazing people that are bringing hope into your home, because that's where everybody is right now. So thank you, Maggie, and I will see everybody later. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.